April 13th, 2015. I'm JTG, James Thomas Crane. And so Dad remains in the hospital. One day he's up, one day he's down. He's been fairly good the last couple of days. But they say he now has an E. coli infection in his lungs. And so he's got chronic problems. But they're saying that the next day or two he'll go home. Well, not go home, he'll go to a nursing home, rehab facility. He's not going back to the Ridge. He's going to a new place called Windsor Garden, which is supposedly better. They claim they have better respiratory therapy. And since respiration is his big problem, that's a good thing. But he can't seem to shake the constant pneumonia. He's constantly gurgling, and I don't know. It wasn't long ago that he was fairly stable. He was able to walk fairly good long distances. At John's house, he was able to walk all the way around the block using oxygen and his walker. I don't know. He can't even stand up on his own right now. Now maybe the physical therapy will make that better. I don't know. But I worry that Dad doesn't have much time left. I'm hopeful he's not going to die in the next day or week. But he may start requiring some more intensive, regular therapy to keep him alive. Thing is, well, somebody a few days ago said to me, "Don't you think it's time to think about letting him go?" Now, this person isn't really that important in my life, and so I thought it was a little odd they felt like they could just ask a fairly blunt question like that. But I do think it's something I should answer. Dad has come back from some pretty severe problems in the past. This could be another one. 2 months, 3 months from now, he might be walking back and forth through the mall with his walker again. But he is going to be 88 in a few weeks, so things are changing. So one of these days he won't recover. His mind is mostly there. I mean, he has these hallucinations, but they are pretty well explainable by the pneumonia and lack of oxygen and so on. So, in other words, I don't think it's part of his brain. You know, like, he knows who he is. I'll ask him questions and he'll know where he is, what the date is, you know, usually within a day or two. I mean, he might say it's Tuesday when it's Thursday, but, you know, it's close enough. He knows the year, he knows where he's at, he knows who he is, he knows who I am. So no, I don't think it's time to think about letting him go, at least not yet. It's important for me to keep encouraging him, because I think a lot of people, they'll go, "Oh, do you think it's time to let him go? Oh, he's 88. Oh, he's got chronic problems." And they, you know, let their relative go, so to speak, you know, maybe months or even years ahead of when they would have otherwise maybe recovered. And there's also the matter of this It could be a new normal that Dad is going to be wheelchair bound. Does that mean the end of his life? Does that mean that we should let him go? I mean, I hope he gets back on his feet again. He can walk around again. But it's possible he may end up in a wheelchair. He may end up in diapers for the rest of his life. And that'll be a big challenge for whoever, whether it's with me or with John. I'm sure Judy wouldn't be involved in that. I don't think Steve would allow it. I'm not sure Ursula would allow it if Dad actually became wheelchair bound. You know, had to change his diapers twice a day or whatever. I didn't go see him today. I was just so exhausted. I haven't had a day off in a while. So I stayed home. And I rested, I watched some TV, I read, tried to nap a little here and there. But I do feel guilty because I don't know how many days he has left. I mean, if he were to die tonight, which I don't think is going to happen, but I don't know. I mean, do I really want to, how would I feel if he died and it happened to be on the day or two, you know, that I had taken off? You know, I've got some plans, hopefully, if he stabilizes, to make some trips later this year, or later on in a few months. Like, let's say I'm out of town for 2 or 3 days, and he dies. Or he gets sick and I have to drop everything and drive back. I have to continue with my life. That is something I have to continue with my life. John and Judy, they're not really able to be that involved because their lives don't allow them to be able to drop things the way I have. Dad would be utterly alone, I think, if I could only show up on weekends or in the evening. So I feel a huge responsibility. Dad said to me the other day that I'm the only one that can explain things to him in a way that he understands. And I say without ego, but a statement of reality, that it's because I understand what the doctors say. I understand medical speak. Further, I can translate medical speak into words and phrases that Dad can understand. So I have a huge responsibility. And I'm going to play it out as long as I can, or as long as I need to.